Welcome back. This discussion we're going to have is very important because it concerns every single one of us. Children who live with special needs children, whether they're suffering from cerebral palsy, autism, generally slow development in children. Before we have a discussion about Nigeria is one of several countries that this problem continues to persist. Stigma remains high. We have just a handful of schools who cater to this sort of children. It costs a lot more to train them, and so rather than train them, we look for the easy way out simply by avoiding them, which is even worse in the situation. So we're going to have to learn how to educate children with special needs, and if you don't know, I guess this is the best place to start to learn from. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. Bidemi Jaisimi is a peer educator at Magnificent Therapy. He's done some work with children with special needs, and I'm sure you can help us first and foremost by telling us what is the most important thing if you have a child who is living with special needs, what to do with that child. What will be the first thing to do? First and foremost, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you very much. Foremost, if you have a child with special needs, the first thing you need to consult the pediatrician, developmental pediatrician, very, very important. Then they'll now tell you what to do. That is, they'll now refer you to the ENT department. That's it. The ENT pathologist will now tell you what to do. But after that, it depends on the case of the child. If the child is cerebral palsy, autism, or Prader-Willi syndrome, it depends on the case. So I'll just pick cerebral palsy. Cerebral palsy is better known as neurodisability disorder or movement coordination disorder. That is, the child involved cannot lift their hands, can't lift their heads, is not controllable, but this usually causes pain before, after childbirth. So that is that. So for the first person is a pediatrician who will now refer you to the ENT pathologist. That's in the hospital. So once they refer you to the ENT pathologist, they will now advise you that you need a physiotherapist, a physical therapist, or an occupational therapist, depending on the case of the child. Some can be spastic, some can be articular, and some can be better known as floppy CP. So those are the very important things. And the amazing part about these children is that they are stigmatized. They don't have access to education. People ignore them. People even run away from them. Some even believe it's a spiritual issue. But the bottom line is it depends on the person that is carrying it. That's why I always tell parents that if you have a child, if before you get pregnant, go to your doctor, certify yourself healthy before you can start getting pregnant.
So we run through them again. Cerebral palsy, I know very well. Autism, I know also Down syndrome is also very popular around this part.
Prader-Willi syndrome.
If you say Prader-Willi
syndrome.
Okay, I haven't heard that.
Yeah, it's a genetic disorder. It's also falling in the category of Down syndrome. Okay. Well, actually, it's only happened once in 1,000 years in the family, because I happen to treat a case like that. What happened is that they have issues in the upper size of the brain. They don't know when they are full. And their tendency is that it's obesity. You can also go with that. So that's the issue they only have. Not that they are brilliant, loving children, but the issue they usually have is they eat in excess. They don't know I'm full. They just want to eat. They can steal to eat. If you offer them money and you offer them food, they will take the food instead of the money. So, and the parents cannot be blamed for issues like, because most of these things happen in sexual intercourse, just the way Down syndrome happens during sexual intercourse. So once the parents discover that, like I said, you have to go to the professionals. Right. Well, I'm a peer educator. I also work with children with special needs and mental challenges. I work with children with autism. Now it depends on the case handling. Then, especially the cerebral palsy, I love working with children with cerebral palsy because I enjoy working with them. Because they are the leading neurodisability disorder in Nigeria. You can quote me let me use the word of I Olagunju, and in the Department of Pediatrics in University of Ibadan. They wrote an article in last September 12, and said that cerebral palsy is the leading cause of neurodisability in Nigeria today. So, wow. Many people know. So people are familiar with autism, which is the inability for the brain to process quick information, not knowing that even worse cases or severe cases that are even far beyond autism, that's cerebral palsy.
All right, I'll ask you the first step that you do in taking care of these kids. And you talked about, you referred to a hospital, you have to see certain doctors, specialists and all of that. Now, what is the cost of taking care of a child that is dealing with any of these challenges. And if you come from, we know that most Nigerians live under the poverty line, so money is an issue. So if you come from such a family that's financially challenged, what have you noticed about the welfare of these kids?
Foremost, you have to go to LASODA if you're in Lagos State. That's Lagos State Office for Disability Affairs in Lagos State. They'll give you a form, then they will support you as a parent.
Okay.
But there are protocols attached to that, but they will support you. And once they support you...
But not just for Lagos State. How about countrywide? I mean, there are other parents who can barely put food on the table who are struggling with children with special needs.
Some are donors. There are some donor organizations that they want to help. They're asking that you have a center.
For all the children?
Yeah, it is. But the parents have to, first of all, make a move. Most parents don't make a move. Some even lock the child at home. There's this recent case I saw a parent call. A parent called me and said, look, this child has been locked up for 10 years and only give the child one daily meal of golden more. How do you expect the child to survive? This is a child that cannot walk, that cannot talk, that cannot even make any move. Just the only thing the child can do is just cry for help. And you lock the child for 10 years, not a decade. It's unfair. So parents, I know there's other parents out there are also doing the same thing. Bring them out. See, if you need help, shout it out. Please, I need help. People will help you.
Well, there's a stigma attached to it. You know, people are afraid of what the society will say about them if they have a child that has special needs. Well, I've been privileged to, be with some children with Down syndrome, with autism. Mm-hmm. I've attended a lot of seminars based on this, and I was really very excited with the kind of things they do. I've seen some of them acting. Solomon is his name. He's an actor in one of in a soap on TV. I've seen some hairdressers amongst them. I've seen some artworks. They do the paint really very well. I'm talking about children with autism and Down syndrome. Now, you said you were a peer educator. We need to expose these kids to education because that is the only way they can actually sink into society. With the discrimination, amongst certain groups of people in the society, how would you advise the parents to summon the courage to maybe join some support groups? Because I know in hospitals, people, those who have kids with this special needs actually form a support group. How would you advise such people, such parents or elderly adults to take their wards or their children or their siblings to these places because they need to be educated first before they can educate a child living with this special needs?
You said you already answered the question. They need to first of all go out. They need to look for those support groups. If you enter any hospital, especially the general hospital, child on neuropsychiatric hospital, the child androgen unit is in Oshodi. It's there. Every day the samples are outside. Just go there.
Oshodi. So someone from Island can. There's no other center on the island, for example.
You can go to the general hospital and then in Ball Street. But I know that one they assess children on Thursdays. The physiotherapy department, just walk up to them and say, I have a problem, this is my challenge. They will refer you to someone. They can even refer you to a center.
But they have to pay because the fear of, the funding might be there too.
It's just once, it's token. They're not going to pay so much. It's just a token. It's a federal, it's a state government, it's an institution. It's just a token. So far, they will even give appointment days. Some parents, they may give maybe twice or maybe once a week or once in 3 weeks. Depends on the case of your child. If you go to neuropsychiatric hospital, there are many children over there. Parents coming.
So we go past the point of having to care for them to the point of dealing with stigma, and then we get to educating them. I was saying during the opening that we have just a handful of schools, for example, for children who have developmental needs, and then you have to pay more than 10 times the amount of money you use to train a child without developmental challenges to train a child who has developmental challenges. What are we doing in terms of getting those schools out there and equipping them with the right equipment and facilities to train them?
Yeah. That's why we have the donors. We have people, individuals that support centers. Like in our center, we self-supported. Just last year, LASODA supported us.
That's a huge problem, right?
Yeah, it is. Because therapy has to do with money, sincerely. If you want the best for your child, just like Barrister Adesina said, you want a good soup, you need money for the good soup. So for your child to work, you need to pay. Once you pay, your child will get the best. Anywhere in the world, whether it's in Nigeria, anywhere, you get the best. And because there are instruments like the first point of contact when it comes to education is visual learning. every child with special needs learn visually, just like the way a kids learn visually. So if you have the right materials, these children can actually learn. They can learn.
And reach full
And they are
potential.
superstars.
Yes,
Yeah.
and reach full potential.
Almost full potential. I want to say
Almost.
almost full potentials.
All right.
Almost. But is that to do with payment?
Oh, absolutely. Thank you very, very much, Bidemi Jai Simi. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. Of course, you have a social media handle there. You can find out some more. You've got children with special needs, what to do.
We're also doing a walk
Okay.
for children with cerebral palsy.
Okay.
It's on the 28th. Where is the 28th March?
28th
It's on
March.
weekday.
Where's the match happening in?
It's happening at Lagos State Road Park.
Okay.
And we'll now take
At
a
Yaba.
walk. Yeah,
Okay.
at Yaba.
Okay.
So from there to on Jibo Under Bridge, via Yaba, then back to the Road Park. So we invite a lot of celebrities. And the concern is not even about the present children, it's about the future children.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So RoPac 28th of March, Yaba, find your way there if you have to support children with special needs. I think everyone should be involved in this sort of thing because, I mean, they're there and you can't keep them locked up. It's absolutely wrong. Thank you, sir, again, Bidemi Jai Simi, for coming on the show. We'll take a quick break. We come back, we'll have the rest of the show to deal with. Stay with us.